Hi students, good morning to you all. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good. Hearty welcome to all of you for today's English class. Children, today I will be explaining you a new lesson from our Beehive textbook. A poem, Rain on the Roof, written by Cots Kinney. Okay, so the poem will be explained and its figure of speech or literary device too. Okay, so before that, I would like to remind you an important matter about note submission and assignment. Children, I know almost only half of the students are regular in submitting notes. See, here I am going to read out the names of the children, those who are not regular in submitting notes. Abhinavech Nair, Abel Anthony, Abel Matthew, Abhi Ramesh, Abhishek, Akhila R. Nair, Amal Dev, Ansu Sibi, Ashmi Jitesh, Jubilet. I don't know what happened to you, Jubilet. Kajol, Kirtana, Kessia, Krishnajit, Tejas, Phama, Bharat, Bimin, Christy, Deepak, Glinda, Govind, Jishnu, Joel Kurian Mani, Joel Saji, Namita Raji, Prince Thomas, Sajjana Suryakiran. Children, as I told you, this week onwards you will have 2 classes for English. Do you remember that? Yet you people are irresponsible. So try to complete your notes and send it to me before lunch. Did you understand what I said? You have to complete all the notes and send it to me before 1 o'clock. Okay, children. Please cooperate with me, children. We have a lot more lessons to complete, and so you have to cooperate with me. Okay, so let's move on to our lesson, Rain on the Roof, written by Cots Kinney. So first of all, I'll introduce you the poet of the poem, Rain on the Roof, Cots Kinney. Cots Kinney was a lawyer, politician, journalist, and poet. One night, Kinney caught an inspiration while trying to sleep in his old college dormitory, and there put on paper this beautiful bit of verse, The Rain on the Roof. Originally, this poem has been written in 6 stanzas, but only 3 of them are included in our textbook. This poem made Kinney famous. Which poem made Kinney famous? The Rain on the Roof. The poem made Kinney famous. Kinney has written very little poetry and no great amount of prose, yet several of his production is still alive. So let's see which are the important works of Cots Kinney. They are Kuka, Kweuka, Kuka. Second one, Lyrics of the Ideal and the Real. And the third one, Miss of Fire. All these are his important works. Okay. Now, I am going to give you a brief introduction of our poem, Rain on the Roof. So, from the title of the poem itself, we can make out that the poem is about rain on the roof. So, from the title of the poem, Rain on the Roof, we can make out that the poem is about rain. The poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain. The poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain. The sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his cottage brings back sweet memories of the past, including his mother's. Did you get the last sentence, children? The sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his cottage brings back sweet memories of the past, including his mother's. Okay, so let me read the first stanza. Only 3 stanzas are there. Listen. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weaves in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof, and as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years gone, to regard the darling dreamers, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Okay, children, let's see the first stanza. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Okay, children, let's see the explanation. So, here the poet is saying that the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. The humid shadows hover the starry spheres, or the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. So here, humid shadows refers to dark clouds. Humid shadows refers to dark clouds which are full of water. It's going to rain. As we know, dark clouds carry rain. So the dark clouds hover the starry sky. Hover means remain in one place in the atmosphere. So the dark clouds remain in one place in the atmosphere. Where it is, children? Where it is in the atmosphere? Hover the starry sky. What do you mean by starry sky? A sky with a full of stars. So here the starry sky means sky with full of stars. So at that time, dark, huge clouds hover around the sky all over the starry spheres. As I told you, starry spheres refers to the sky at night time, which is full of stars. Okay, did you get the meaning of the first two lines? So the first two lines say at that time means at that night, huge dark clouds hover around the sky all over the starry spheres. Starry spheres refers to sky at night time which is full of stars. Third line. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Weeps, you know, cry. Yes. Melancholy. What's the meaning of melancholy? Melancholy means sad. So the melancholy darkness, sad darkness starts to cry. The darkness is sad, it starts to weep or it starts to cry, and tears falling down as raindrops. So here the poet is comparing raindrops to tears and says that the dark sky, it appears to be crying, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. So the poet, he is very happy. Have you seen the line? What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed. Here, the poet is very happy. He is very happy to lie on his bed by pressing his head on the pillow in his cottage and listen the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof. Cottage chamber means bedroom. So here the poet says that the raindrops at night are like tears shed by the sad dark night. And the poet, he is very happy to lie on his bed by pressing his head on the pillow in his cottage and listen the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof. I hope you understood the content of the first stanza, children. Once again, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss. Bliss, you know, the meaning of bliss is happiness. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So here the poet says that the raindrops at night are like tears shed by the sad dark night, and the poet is very happy to lie on his bed by pressing his head on the pillow in his cottage and listen the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof. Every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Children, come to page number 42. Meanings are given in your textbook itself. See, tingle. The meaning of tingle is short, light, ringing sounds. It's given in your textbook, page number 42. So, tingle is short, light, ringing sound. And shingles, rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. Shingles means rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. Then, what's the meaning of woof? Yes, that is the threads woven across the loom. You know, the threads woven across the loom. Okay, so let's see the explanation. In this stanza, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his cottage. Did you get the sentence, children? In this stanza, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his cottage. He says that every tingle on the shingles has an echo in his heart. He says that every tingle, what's the meaning of tingle? A ringing sound, the ringing sound of the rain. So every tingle on the shingles or every raindrops falls on the shingles or falls on the rooftop has an echo in his heart. Tingle means a ringing sound. Shingles means rectangular wooden tiles used on the roof. Okay, so whenever he hears the rain falling on the rooftop, he has an echo in his heart. Every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Okay, so next one. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. So whenever he hears the rain falling on the rooftop, he has an echo in his heart, and at the same time he has thousands of fanciful imaginations come to his dreams. Fanciful imaginations, fancies, you know, imagination. So dreamy fancies, 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. What do you mean by busy being? Busy being refers to human beings. So here the poet is referring to himself. So whenever he hears the sounds of the rain falling on the rooftop, or whenever he hears every tingle on the shingles has an echo in his heart, and at the same time he hears the rain sorry children, whenever he hears the rain falling on the rooftop, he has thousands of fanciful imaginations come to his dreams. Then it creates many new different dreams in his mind. That is what is the second, third, fourth and the fifth line, children. 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. 1,000 recollections weave their threads into woof. What do you mean by recollections? Past memories. Okay, so whenever he hears the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his cottage, he has an echo in his heart. And at the same time, thousands of fanciful imaginations come to his dreams. 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. Okay, so listen. I told you busy being, it refers to human beings. Here the poet is referring to himself. So he says that as he listens to the patter of the rain on the rooftop, he has dreams. He has many dreams that has woven into a woof, and he has many new dreams in his mind too. And the memories of the past has come back in the form of dreams. So as I listen to the patter of the raindrops of the roof, the poet says that so when he listens to the patter, the sound of the rain falling on the roof of his cottage, he has an echo in his heart. Then thousands of dreamy fancies came to his mind. Thousands of recollections, past memories weave their threads into woof. Woof, you know, I told you the meaning, the threads woven across the loom. So he compares his recollections into air threads. that weave or that woven into woof. So the 1,000 recollections weave their hair threads into woof. So this is what is the content of the second stanza, children. Once again, in this stanza, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop. So he says that every tingle, each and every raindrop that falls on the shingles has an echo in his heart. And at the same time, when he hears the raindrops, he has thousands of fanciful imaginations come to his dreams. It creates many new different dreams in his mind. And see, the poet is referring to himself by saying that he is a busy being. You know, human beings are busy. So busy being refers to human beings, and here the poet is referring to himself. So he says that as he listens to the rain on the rooftop, he has many dreams, and that has woven into a woof, and he has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past has come back in the form of dreams to his mind. That means, in short, we can say the poet is very happy to listen the patter or listen the sound of the raindrops falling on his rooftop. Okay. Now, in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers. She left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. So, in the third stanza, the poet introduces his mother. He says that he is dreaming of his mother. His mother, now she is no more. See the line, children? Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone. Agone means past. Okay, so in the third stanza, in this stanza, the last stanza, the concluding stanza, the poet introduces his mother. He says that he is dreaming his mother. His mother, in memory comes my mother. Okay, so his mother, she is no more. So as she used in years agone, as I told you, agone means past. So the past, the memories of his mother come to his mind. The poet can still feel the love and the kiss of his mother when she leaves him in the bedroom till dawn. Dawn means D-A-W-N, dawn means morning. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain. As we know, parents give a kiss or pat their child and bid good night to them before sleep. So, still, just like that, the poet can feel the warmth of his mother's kiss before sleep, or as she left him till dawn to sleep. Yes, he can feel her fond look, loving gaze as he listened to the refrain. Children, list. Have you seen the word, children? What do you mean by list? One list is there, you know that list. But here, in this context, list, it's an old poetic word for listen. It's an old poetic word for, it's given in your textbook, children, in your glossary portion, page number 42. List, old poetic word for listen. Then, what's the meaning of refrain? Refrain is a repeated part of a song or a poem. A repeated part of a poem or a song. But here, in this context, a refrain means the sound of the rain. Okay, so here, yes, he can feel her fond look, her loving gaze as he listened to the refrain, as he listened to the sound of the rain. Okay, so whenever he hears the sound of the rain, it brings back the memories of the past, and he is reminded of his mother's lovely face. Hope you understood the poem, children. Only 3 stanzas are there. So I'll read it to you once again, the last stanza. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone. I told you agone means past. To regard the darling dreamers, she left them till the dawn. Means before, E-R-E. That is what is also an old poetic word for before. Before she left them till the dawn, or before she leaves them for sleep. So, still the poet can feel the warmth of his mother's kiss or the warmth of his mother's fond look before sleep. Okay, so to regard the darling dreamers, She left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. So, who is played upon the shingles? The raindrops. The raindrops played upon the shingles by how children? By the patter of the rain. Patter, it's the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop. Okay, so now let's see the rhyme scheme of the poem. Okay, children, the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Once again, A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So let's see the last words of each line. Hover, spheres, darkness, tears, pillow, bed, patter, overhead. So two words are rhyming each other. Spheres and tears. So B is repeated. A, hover, A. Children, you can take your pencil and mark it in your textbook. Hover, A. Spheres, B. And spheres is rhymed with tears. So you can repeat tears, B. So A, B, C, B. Okay. Hover, A. Spheres, B. Darkness, C. Again tears rhymes with the sphere, so B is repeated, B. Then pillow, D. Bed, E. Patter, F. Overhead, E. Because bed and overhead, it rhymes each other, so the letter E is repeated. So what's the rhyme scheme, children? A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. How you mark it? Okay, so don't forget, children, you should mark it in your textbook. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Total 8 lines are there. 2 rhyming pairs are there. Spheres and tears, bed and overhead. So the letter B and the letter E is repeated. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Okay, so if you check, you can see the same rhyme scheme is following in the second and the third stanza too. So what's the rhyme scheme of the poem? The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Okay, now let's discuss the literary devices used in the poem. 4 literary devices or 4 figures of speech are used in this poem. Okay, so let's see the first stanza. The first one is alliteration. What do you mean by alliteration? Do you remember? Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound into a more consecutive words. The repetition of a consonant sound into or more consecutive words. So we can see a lot of examples in these 3 stanzas. See the first one, children. Humid hour. First stanza. First line, humid hour. Which sound is repeated? Her sound is repeated. The letter H is repeated. The sound her is repeated. Humid hour. Second one, starry spheres. In the second line, starry spheres. The sound S is repeated. S, starry spheres, yes. And the third one, press pillow. That is what is fifth line. Press pillow. The sound P, letter P is repeated. Then lie listening. Second last line, lie listening. Then let's move on to the next stanza. Busy being. Fourth line, busy being. The sound B is repeated. And their thread. Their threads. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth line, their threads. Their, T-H-E-I-R, their threads, T-H-R-E-A-D-S. The sound their threads. And rain roof. Last line, rain roof. Of the rain upon the roof, rain roof. The letter R is repeated. Next one, in the first line itself, you can see an example for alliteration. What is alliteration? The repetition of a consonant sound into or more consecutive words. Memory, my mother. In the first line, memory, my mother. the letter M is repeated. And one more, darling dreamers. Darling, D, dreamers, again D. The letter D or the sound D is repeated. So this is what is the examples for alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. Okay. So the second one is onomatopoeia. Let me spell the word onomatopoeia. It will be given in your notes, children. Don't worry. So what do you mean by onomatopoeia? The use of sound words to create a dramatic effect to the poem. Onomatopoeia means the use of, or it's a literary device which is used to create a dramatic effect to the poem. The use of sound words to create a dramatic effect. Did you get that? Onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect to the poem. So here in the first stanza, second last line, have you seen the word patter? Patter, that is what is the sound made by the raindrops falling on the roof. Patter is an example. In the second stanza, tingle, another one is there. Tingle. What do you mean by tingle? Do you remember the meaning of tingle? Yes, the meaning is short, light, ringing sounds. That one is also the sound made by the raindrops falling on the roof. And in the last stanza, the last line, the same word patter is used. Okay, so what do you mean by onomatopoeia? The use of sound words to create a dramatic effect to the poem. So patter and shingle are the, not shingle children, tingle. Patter and tingle are the examples of onomatopoeia, or patter and tingle are examples for onomatopoeia used in this poem. Patter and tingle, T-I-N-K-L-E. Tingle is a short, light, ringing sound. Okay, then the next one is personification. You know what is personification? Treating a non-living thing as a living thing. That is what is personification. Or we can say giving human qualities to non-living things. Giving human qualities to non-living things. That is personification. So here I'll give you the example for personification. It's in the first stanza, melancholy darkness. As I told you, what's the meaning of melancholy? Sad. Darkness, you know. So here darkness has been personified when he says it is sad. Sadness is a human quality, no? So here the poet gives personification, or the poet uses the poetic device or the literary device personification by giving darkness the quality of the human quality of sadness. So darkness has been personified when he says it is sad. Melancholy, darkness. Darkness is sad. Another example, recollections. See, 1,000 recollections. You know what's the meaning of recollection? Recollections means past memory. So 1,000 recollections. What did they do? 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. The past memories or the recollection. The word recollection is personified when he says they weave dreams or they weave their air threads into woof. Recollections, past memories. So what do you mean by personification? Treating a non-living thing as a living thing, or giving human qualities to non-living things. So here the word recollection is an example for personification. Personification. Okay. So recollections weave their air threads into woof. Recollection is personified when he says that they weave their dreams. By how, children? Weave their air threads into woof. That is what is the examples for personifications, or these are the two examples used by the poet to create personification in his poem. Okay, and the fourth one and the last one is transferred epithet. I know it's new for you. I'll give you a detailed explanation. Listen, transferred epithet means it is the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Once again, the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Then what do you mean by epithet? Epithet. An epithet is a word that describes something else, usually an adjective describing a noun. Epithet is a word that describes something else. Usually this is an adjective describing a noun. Epithet is an adjective describing a noun. I'll give you a simple example. See, unhappy marriage. You know what is unhappy marriage. Huh? Nowadays we are very familiar with a lot of unhappy marriage cases. So marriage itself is not unhappy. Is marriage unhappy, children? No, never. Marriage is not unhappy, but the people included in that marriage, the couples, they are unhappy. Did you understand? So, an epithet is a word that describes something else. I told you the example, unhappy marriage. Marriage itself is not unhappy, but the people included in that marriage or the couples are unhappy, not marriage. Understood? So, an epithet is a word that describes something else. Usually, this is an adjective describes a noun or describing a noun. I'll give you another example, another simple example apart from our poem. The red dress. What do you mean by red dress, children? The epithet is red. It is describing the dress. Did you understand? A red dress. The epithet is red and it describes the dress. What's the color of the dress? The dress is red in color. That is what is epithet. Okay. So now let's go back to transferred epithet. Transfer, you know. So the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Example, in melancholy darkness. Again, the same word, children, the same phrase, melancholy darkness. In melancholy darkness, the poet uses transferred epithet, or melancholy darkness is an example for transferred epithet. Here, melancholy is the adjective. Darkness is the noun. So, as the poet says, darkness is sad. It weeps and tears comes down as rain. Here, it refers to sad people, not a darkness. Understood? Melancholy darkness means it refers to sad people. As the poet says, darkness is sad, so it weeps. When people feel sad, they will cry. Okay, so darkness is sad means it weeps and tears come down as rain. Here, it refers to darkness. Melancholy darkness means it refers to sad people. It refers to sad people. Okay, another example is there in our poem, dreamy fancies. You know fancies. What do you mean by fancies? Fancies means imagination. So dreamy fancies, that means it does not mean that imaginations are dreamy. It does not mean that fancies are dreamy. It refers to the people who have dreams. Understood? Transferred epithet. The second one is dreamy fancies. Dreamy fancies. See, here it is in the third line, second stanza, dreamy fancies, 1,000 dreamy fancies. So, dreamy fancies is another example for transferred epithet. What's the meaning of fancies? Fancies means imagination. So, here, dreamy fancies means it does not mean that imaginations are dreamy. It does not mean that fancies are dreamy. It refers to the people who have dreams. Okay, I hope you got the last one, transferred epithet. It will be given in your notebook. No need to worry about it. Again, if you didn't understand, you can call me at any time. I will explain to you once again. Okay, so here comes an end of our lesson, children. In today's class, we have discussed the 3 stanzas of the poem and its literary devices too. How many literary devices are there, children? 4 are there. The first one is, do you remember the first one? Which is the first one? The first one is alliteration. Second one is onomatopoeia. Third one, personification. And the fourth one is transferred epithet. Do you remember the examples I gave you? It's very simple, children. You can remember the example, unhappy marriage. Is marriage unhappy, children? No. Marriage is not unhappy. The people who belong to that marriage or the couples are unhappy. And at the same time, in our textbook, the poet has used melancholy darkness. So here, melancholy darkness means it refers to the sad people. And at the same time, dreamy fancies. What do you mean by dreamy fancies? It refers to the people who have dreams, not fancies. It does not mean that imaginations are dreamy. It refers to the people who have dreams. The people who have dreams. That is what is dreamy fancies. Okay, so here comes an end of today's session. Children, don't forget, today I'm not giving you any notes along with this video. Today I'm not giving you, today means today I'm not giving you any notes along with this video means it will be given in the evening, today evening itself. That means you got enough time. Those who didn't submit the notes should submit the notes before 1 o'clock. It's very urgent, children. Otherwise, I'll give these names to the principal. Principal will call you. It's very sure, children, because many of you are not regular in sending assignments and notes. So before 1 o'clock, those who didn't submit the notes should submit the notes. Okay, so you can write the notes of your poem, the poem Rain on the Roof, in the evening. It will be given in the evening. So children, I remind you once again, take care to complete the notes regularly because we are having 2 classes each per week. So if it is pending, it's very difficult to complete the notes. That's why I told you before 1 o'clock, you have to send the notes. Otherwise, I will send the names to the principal. It's very sure principal will call you. Okay, notes will be given in the evening. Don't forget to write the notes and send it to the Google Classroom on time. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.